She was much too fond of Heathcliff. The greatest punishment we could invent for her was to keep her separate from him. Yet she got chided more than any of us on his own account. Cathy taught him what she learnt, and worked or played with him in the fields. They both promised fair to grow up as rude as savages, the young master of being entirely negligent how they behaved and what they did, so they kept clear of him. But it was of their chief amusements to run away to the moors in the morning and remain there all day, and after the punishment grew a mere thing to laugh at. The curate might set as many chapters as he pleased for Catherine to get by heart, and Joseph might thrash Heathcliff till his arm ached. They forgot everything the minute they were together again, at least the minute they had contrived some naughty plan of revenge. No parson in the world ever pictured heaven so beautifully as they did, in their innocent talk, and while I sobbed and listened, I could not help wishing we were all safe together.
I've seen none like Edgar. I love the ground under his feet and the air over his head, and everything he touches and every word he says. I love all his looks and all his actions, and him entirely and altogether. He is handsome and pleasant to be with. He is young and cheerful, and he loves me. I should only pity him, hate him perhaps, if he were ugly and a clown.
I became sensible of Heathcliff's presence. Having noticed a slight movement, I turned my head and saw him rise from the bench and steal out noiselessly. He had listened till he heard Catherine say it would degrade her to marry him, and then he stayed to hear no further.
Edgar Linton asked me to marry him. I've accepted him.
I did not love her.
I love him more than ever Catherine loved Edgar, and he might love me if Catherine would ever let him.
The depth of absurdity, of genuine idiocity, for that pitiful, slavish, mean-minded branch to dream that I could love her. I have avoided, up to this period, giving her the slightest right to claim a separation, and, what's more, she'd thank nobody for dividing us. If she desired to go, she might. The nuisance of her presence outweighs the gratification to be derived from tormenting her.
You know, I was wild after she died, and eternally from dawn to dawn, praying her to return to me, her spirit. I have a strong faith in ghosts. I have a conviction that they can, and do, exist among us. I looked round impatiently. I felt her by me. I could almost see her, and yet I could not. I ought to have sweat blood then, from the anguish of my yearning, from the fervor of my supplications to have but one glimpse. I had not one. She showed herself, as she often was in life, a devil to me, and since then, sometimes more and sometimes less. I've been the sport of that intolerable torture, infernal, keeping my nerves at such a stretch that, if they had resembled catgut, they would, long ago, have relaxed to the feebleness of Linton. I'll tell you what I did yesterday. I got the sexton, who was digging Linton's grave, to remove the earth off her coffin lid, and I opened it. I thought, once, I would have stayed there when I saw her face again. It is hers yet. He had hard work to stir me, but he had said it would change if the air blew on it, and so I struck one side of the coffin loose and covered it up. Not Linton's side, damn him. I wish he'd been soldered in lead, and I bribed the sexton to pull it away, and when I'm laid there, and slide out mine too. I'll have it made so, and then, by the time Linton gets to us, he'll not know which is which.
Catherine Earnshaw, Catherine Earnshaw, Catherine Earnshaw, Catherine Earnshaw, Catherine Earnshaw, Catherine Heathcliff, Catherine Earnshaw, Catherine Heathcliff, Catherine Heathcliff, Catherine Earnshaw, Catherine Heathcliff, Catherine Linton, Catherine Linton, Catherine Earnshaw, the book. Stop it nevertheless.
Let me in!
Who are you?
Catherine Linton, I'm come home. I lost my way on the moor. Let me in!
Let me go! I can't let you in if you don't let me go! Be gone with you! I won't let you in 20 years!
20 years? It's been 20 years. I've been gone for 20 years.
Is anyone here?
It is only your guest, sir. I had the misfortune to scream in my sleep, owing it to a frightful nightmare. I'm sorry I disturbed you.
Oh, God confound you, Mr. Lockwood. I wish you at the... Who led you up to this room? Who was it? I've a good mind to turn them out of this house this instant.
It was your servant, Zillah.
And what are you doing? Lie down and finish out the night, since you are here. But, for heaven's sake, don't repeat that horrid noise. Nothing could excuse it, unless you were having your throat cut.
If the little fiend had gotten in the window, she probably would have strangled me. I'm not going to endure the persecutions of your hospital ancestors again. Was not Reverend Jasbrin akin to you on your mother's side? And that matrix, Catherine Linton, or Earnshaw, or ever she called it, she must have been a little changeling, the wicked soul. She told me she had been walking the earth these 20 years. A just punishment for moral transgressions, I've no doubt. The truth is, sir, I've passed the first part of the night in the spelling over these scrabbles on window ledge. A monotonous occupations calculated me asleep, like the counting or...
What can you mean by talking this way to me? How dare you under my roof? God, he's mad to speak to me. Not 3 o'clock yet. I could have sworn oath it had been 6. Time stagnates here. We must surely have retired to rest at 8. Always at 9 in winter, and 4 in the morning. Mr. Lockwood, you may go into my room. You'll only be in the way, coming downstairs so early. You sent sleep to the devil with me.
And for me, too. I'll walk to the yard till daylight, and then I'll be off. And you'll need not dread a repetition of my intrusion. I'm quite cured seeking pleasure in society, whether it be country or town. A sensible man ought to find sufficient company in himself.
Delightful company. Take the candle, and go where you please. I'll join you directly. Keep out of the yard, though. The dogs are enchained in the house. Only ramble about the steps and passages. But away with you. I'll come in 2 minutes. Come in!
Catherine, come in, please. Oh, do, once more. Oh, my heart's darling. Hear me this time, Catherine, at last.
I lingered around them, under that benign sky, watched the moss fluttering among the heath and the harebells, listened to the soft wind breathing through the grass, and wondered how anyone could ever imagine unquiet slumbers for the sleepers in that quiet earth. They are afraid of nothing. Together they would brave Satan and all his legions.